Speaking of the Lakers, obviously you played with AD again, who you had balling in New Orleans. And when you're with the Lakers, AD has his best time with the Lakers. No surprise there. Um, but also playing with Bron. You spoke a little bit about it earlier, but just talk to me about like going through the season as A, two alphas, B, two guys who, I mean, who knows which one of y'all smarter? It's not even a who's smarter. It's number one,
Yeah.
like the level of y'all brain, like from a basketball standpoint, there is no 1A or that's just here. How was that experience with your resume and the respect that you have? Because Brian know you got a basketball mind,
Yeah.
and you're coming into the squad. What was that experience like along the way, going through the season? As you know, you growing to win a championship.
Right,
You don't
right,
win
right.
a championship in June. You win a
Fact.
championship in January, you know, and growing
Yep.
through that. What was that experience like for y'all too, as the savants that y'all are?
It was a great moment. We played together before, but it was
Yeah.
a time where I knew my role at the time. You know what I mean? So we're two albums, but at the same time, I pride myself on being a star role player. You know what I mean? Like I knew my role. I wasn't the big dog on any teams I've ever played for. So for me, I fell in line. I knew what it was. You know what I mean? It wasn't no ego beating the chest. It was like, okay, I'm gonna have an opinion, which he always respected it, along with the coaching staff. So it was always just a hell of a line of respect that we have for each other. At the end of the day, he's playing, 40 minutes. I'm playing 26, maybe. You know what I mean? So, like I said, in the day, it's all about winning. And I was always trying to do the best to figure out the five that should be on the floor, or who should be in rotation at the end of the game, whatever the team or the staff needed me to be at that particular time. That's the role I try to play. Because in the bubble, I was out for 6 weeks. I broke my thumb.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the dope thing was Frank Vogel, shout out to the homie again. He allowed me to get in all the coaches' rooms. So I'm
Wow.
understanding again from I'm on the championship coaching staff basically. The 6 months I'm rehabbing in LA, then I come back. When we play Houston and how we were able to adjust from not playing the big, the 7-footers, JaVale and Dwight at all in the Houston series, and then we playing them against Jokic. So it was like
Yep.
being able to be in that locker room, being able to be in those meetings while I was gone. I was still able to stay in tune and intact with the team and understand. And they knew when I came back that it was up from there because, like I said, it was always the greater good of the team that we were always striving to be.
Speaking of JaVale and Dwight, they've been very outspoken about that team being broken up too soon. What was your take on that? Do you think the Lakers ultimately moved on too soon, or where y'all could have done more? Or do you think that's just what it was? That team was going to win a championship and it kind of capped there?
Nah, I definitely don't think it capped there.
Okay.
Again, you win a championship, you feel like you have the blueprint, and you got to run it back to see if anybody has figured it out before you do. Crack the code. So I feel like we're a really deep team. Like I said, we're able to adjust. We've been through 7-game series. We've been battle tested. So I think we're able to hit the button next year and figure out how to win it again. Like I said, everybody's feeling good. Brian's still playing now. So, you know what I mean? Like, AD was coming off one of his best seasons. Like I said, that confidence going back into the bubble, you have the same type of guys going to war with you. It's just a psychological thing that you understand versus a couple guys that ain't here. And a lot of teams, that's what comes in front office or they come into play. It's like you feel like you can plug and play with certain guys, but that year nobody was breaking the bank. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it is maybe here or there. They got me another 2 years, so hey.
Yes, they did.
I wasn't even gonna play after that.
You mentioned LeBron still playing. Just talk about, you play with him twice, in your career. Like, what has impressed you the most about him, and especially with what he's doing now?
Man, I told you I've never seen nobody take care of their body like him. Rest and diet. I mean, the little cliches things, like all the things he does. I mean, the way he lifts, the way he goes at the weight room, he attacks the weight room. The way he attacks his own court, off the court workouts. Like he's a professional. And again, if you spend that type of money on your body, and and when no one's looking or no one's watching, you're still doing the right thing. You're able to stay and have a longevity, a career like he's having. Not dropping the 4 triple doubles in a row, things like that. I mean, obviously, he's arguably the greatest player of all time. So for me, I just seen it every day in his regiment. I mean, he was very disciplined, and he goes over and beyond what the average or even what some of the great NBA players have done that I've seen.
Not only that, the skill, you know what I mean, the knowledge, and the know-how, you know what I mean, just makes him super upper echelon. You know what I mean? It's that discipline that take you to a whole nother level.
Because these young guys coming in more athletic, more explosive, and he's still able to manipulate the game, get to his spots. And I feel like he's outsmarting everybody. Obviously, him and Steph doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Draymond's doing the same thing. So the game comes
Yep.
easier.
When you look at the game of where it is now, and like you know the trend of where it's going, as opposed to where it was when you first came in, say your first 5 to 7 years in the league, the overall IQ of basketball, do you see the IQ back then being higher or the IQ where it is today with guys today being higher?
That's a great question. You're still in it. I've been out 3 years, but it hasn't been too long. But at the same time, I feel like maybe guys back then
Yeah.
focus more. I guess there's a lot more distractions now off the court. Social media. Like back then it wasn't. We didn't have social media, so we were kind of pretty much more locked in the sense of even like there's certain teams for me. Like after we lost, or not if we lost, but when we were with the Celtics.
Mhm.
After every game, we'd be in the training room, would be, Ray, the big three, myself, and a couple other guys always talking game plan strategy, how we lost, why we won, why we won. I mean,
Yep.
it's type of vice versa. So that was just kind of the thing, like, and it carried over like to a lot of different teams I played for, but that was the one that stood out the most. Like we were always intact and we were always communicating and figuring out right away how we could have made adjustments throughout the game.
Yeah. Do you think that is all a byproduct of how many adults was in the room then and how many young guys? Like there's no vets now.
No, that's what it is. And it was a important point in my career. I think it maybe you're like maybe 12 or 10, 11 for me. And all my homies was gone. It was like, damn, the league don't want the vets no more. Like I said, they don't appreciate
Yeah.
them teaching them how to be a man, how to do, how to conduct business on and off the court, not just to be yes man. So for me, that was a big wake up call for me. Like they ain't playing with y'all old fellas because they trying to get you out of there so they can have people. To me, I thought they could control or people that can manipulate more to just say yes everything they tell them what to do versus how to
Yep.
be a pro, what to do the right things and when to insert this or when to ask questions. So it was just my difference of opinion and thinking that wasn't the idea. They should have kept me in the locker room.
Man, I feel like they pushed the vets out for younger coaches that was the same age,
Bingo,
thinking
right?
that they can do
Yeah.
the same thing. But it's just a difference and a level of respect when somebody get out there and can really get down. People see you play in the finals. People see you play in the playoffs. You got legacy. And so when you replace that with coaching, you know what I mean? You don't get the sauce, you don't get the ism, and you don't get the growth. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
Like,
let me add one more thing, B, not to cut you off, but that's what to me, like I can speak for, it's what Sam Cassell came in for. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like he was playing. And T. Lou came in. Like those guys were the bridge connectors, the guy that would ever teach me, okay, this is cool, this ain't cool. Just kind of what I told you about KG did for me. So like
yeah,
those point guards, the Stephon Marbury's, like they brought those vets in for me to show me the ropes, and I took like I said, a lot of from everybody, and they was in my
That's
ear. You know what I mean? They was
yeah,
they was giving me the game,
yeah,
so let me get it.
yeah.
All of them. I buy with all my teammates. I said Eddie House, Posey. I mean, I got all the game, and I just try to soak it up.